Hi, I'm Dan Hegstead. Welcome to this episode of Next Steps, Tools for Transforming from Coping to Thriving, my vlog and podcast. Based on my book of the same title, it's a paperback, it is an audiobook read by me, and it is a Kindle e-reader. It's all on Amazon, and if you want to buy it, I think you should, go to my website, danhegstead.com. The links are there to take you to Amazon. I'm a speaker and trainer, and if you'd like to hire me, all that's on my website, danhegstead.com. Today, I want to talk about get help. There's a fun cartoon I saw where Timmy's in the well, and he says, "Lassie, get help, get help." And the next scene is Lassie on the couch with the therapist. But get help. So, and I want to advocate, if you need it, go visit a therapist, psychologist, or, your pastor or whatever, a licensed professional to help you. And stick with me here. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I'm not crazy. No, you don't have to be crazy to see a therapist. I liken it to just asking directions. Yeah, guys don't like to do that, but, imagine if you're in Cleveland, you've never been there, and you're looking for somebody, and you're not sure exactly who it is. You might have a first name, but you don't know what they look like. You don't know where they are. You know it's out there. That person's out there somewhere. I mean, what, are you just going to wander the streets and ask questions and be a detective? Or you could go to somebody who knows where that person might be and lead you there. Get some directions. That's what a therapist will do for you. I'm a big believer in, if it's broke, fix it. I don't like suffering. I don't like wasting time. I want to get through stuff and on to the next thing. And there's so many people that, they won't go to a doctor because they don't want to hear the bad news. And come on. That's what a child does. Adults who are moving from coping to thriving are going to go to the doctor and see what it is and get it fixed, or they're going to do the best they can. Your car is not going to heal itself. You're going to bring it to a mechanic and get things fixed. So I so liken a therapist to a person who will guide you. This person isn't your friend. They're going to be friendly, but they're more like a navigation system, but you're still going to drive. And they're going to help you get there. And it isn't always pleasant. It can be uncomfortable to face your stuff, but that's what adults do. That's how you get from coping to thriving, is you get some help and you talk yourself through, and it just saves so much time. And you're going to be happier in the long run. So don't be afraid. Now, they've said, you can buy a gun faster than you can get a therapist, and that's probably true. So you may have to do some research, find out what your insurance pays for, and so forth. But do it anyway. It's a good thing for you to do. It's very healthy. Okay, I'm not crazy. No, you're not crazy, but maybe you need some direction. I did an episode a few episodes ago on secrets. Okay, do you have to share your secrets? You don't have to, but everybody that ever has found it helpful. Your therapist will be sworn to secrecy, except for some different circumstances. They are mandated reporters for abuse and so forth. But they work for you, and you can tell them anything, and there is nothing they haven't heard. They will never be shocked by anything. I know a number of therapists, and they'll tell you, "No, I've heard it all," and they're ready for you. They know what to do, and they'll help you through. The more you repress or fear what you don't want to say or share, the bigger it seems. I won't say the bigger it gets, but the bigger it seems. And frequently just talking to someone and sharing with them, it just lets the air out of that fear. It's such a wonderful and healthy thing to do. I keep thinking of my senior high school picture was just awful. I hated it. Hated. Didn't look at it. It was just awful. I went to my 30th high school reunion, and they put our picture on our name tags, which is a good thing to do. And I said, "Who's that?" I did not recognize myself, and it had only been 30 years. In my mind, that picture became so much worse than it actually was. And I think a lot of the things we are afraid of dealing with are just the same. The more we're afraid of them, the bigger they seem to be. But they aren't. You know, dragons turn out to be puppies a lot of times. But if not, you know, a good therapist is going to get you through or help you get through. You're going to be in charge. You're going to do the work. Have some courage. You have gotten to the point where you are moving from coping to thriving. You have faced a lot of stuff, and look where you are. And you've faced a lot of things. You've survived and thrived, and now the next step, if you need it, find a psychologist, a therapist, a pastor, somebody licensed who can get you through these last steps. Therapists will often tell you that people will miss appointments or quit coming just as they're starting to make progress. And the reason is it's getting a little painful. So I want you to take that courage that you have and commit to seeing this through. Even when you don't want to go, your subconscious, that base brain is going to come up with all kinds of things. Oh, the weather's bad today, I'm not going to go, or I just don't feel like it. All those excuses. No, you make the commitment now that you go, you see it through. It's going to be okay. You have that courage within you, and I promise you, you're going to come out the side better and happier and ready to move forward. I know that is true. But it's very common that you know, a few appointments and then you start that therapist is getting to the root of the issue. That's exactly what you want. You're going to be uncomfortable. Your base brain's going to say, I'm scared, don't want to go. But you say, no, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to see this through. So be aware that is a very significant part of this process. You just keep going. Now, I have known a lot of therapists, and I have known a couple that are not good. There's a couple of clinkers I've known. And so two things. The system really weeds them out, but you know, you may get one where the system hasn't yet, but generally they do. But even if you get a therapist you just don't like, you don't click with, you get to change. You're in charge of it. But be aware of that part of where your brain says this is uncomfortable, and it may say, oh, I don't like this person. Well, they're making you feel uncomfortable for a reason. So it really engage that higher brain and really think it through. Again, you're not marrying your therapist. You're not hiring a friend. You're hiring a professional to help you through stuff. You're going to be with them for a while, and then you're going to move on. So keep that in mind. So don't be afraid. Get some help, get some direction. The only way out is through. You're going to come out the other side better and happier. You have all the resources you need. You have the courage, and you are going to move from coping to thriving. So thank you ever so much. Again, links are on my website, danhegstad.com. And for those of you listening on the podcast, it's HEGSTAD. People like to switch those E and A around, danhegstad.com. So all that's on my website. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Next steps, tools for transforming from coping to thriving.